Woo! So I am back with another video. Not like I really went anywhere, but I'm back. So let's do it. Or something. So anyways, today's video is going to be all about the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow collection. I'm really looking forward to filming this video because number one, it's been extremely requested, and number two, okay, wow, grow up, Jaclyn. Because I realized recently that I use these shadows on camera quite often, but I've never actually gone in depth about these shadows other than just random favorites videos where I'll just mention like, oh, I love this, and then I'll just move on. So I wanted to make an entire video of how I use these, how I apply them, what I like about them, what to look out for, and then I will also give you swatches of every single shade. So it's perfect timing because Marlena did just come out with 10 new gorgeous colors for spring, which are these bad boys on this side of the palette. You can see that she came out with some pops of color and a lot of pastels, which are just beautiful. And over here, these are the original 10, which are much more dark and warmer and deeper, very fall kind of winter-esque, even though I wear these colors all year round. Like, let's get real. Fuzzy. I will be giving you swatches of all 20 shadows. That way you can see the pigmentation of them and how they look when they're on the skin. So first thing I have to say before giving any review whatsoever, this video is not sponsored. Marlena did not ask me to make this video and I am not being paid to make this video. I just want to get that out of the way so that everyone knows that I am in no way talking good about these shadows for any other reason other than I want to, which has been the way it's been since day one and will continue to roll that way on my channel. Moving on. So for those of you who are maybe wondering what the difference is between a foiled eyeshadow and a regular shimmery eyeshadow, a foiled eyeshadow is going to mimic the look of tin foil, which is where the name foiled comes from. It's gonna give a very bright, very metallic, very beaming look on the eye. It's a very statement eyeshadow. Foiled eyeshadow has more oil in it than a normal eyeshadow. So when you touch it, it is extremely creamy, extremely pigmented, but what's great about that oil is it holds all the pigment together. So as opposed to a normal pigment or a normal eyeshadow as you're applying it, it can kind of fall down and crumble on your cheeks. These don't. The oil keeps them nice and compact together so that those pigment particles just go straight onto the lid and they don't move. It's like glue. It just gives the eye a very beaming, fresh, metallic, very youthful look. So as far as the review portion of these shadows go, it's going to be pretty short and sweet because I'll be honest with you, and this is gonna sound dramatic, but it's the truth. These shadows are hands down my favorite formulation that I've ever used in all of the cosmetic industry. And I have tried different brands for like the past 10 years of my life, and there's nothing like these, like at least not sold in Sephora or Ulta. I cannot think of one negative about these shadows, and I have been using them for months and months and months. And I'm telling you, it's gotten to the point that they're so amazing that when it comes to putting a color all over my lid area, I never want to use anything else because these have like spoiled me. And it's kind of funny because you're used to what you have, and then once something better comes along, you're like, oh my gosh, now that seems so bad when before it was so good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I go back to like All That Glitters, which is just a shimmery eyeshadow from MAC, and I try to put that on my lid, I'm like, oh, no, I can't, because these are so good that they make other things look bad, even though they're not bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, MAC shadows are good, but these are so good that you're like, oh, we don't need that, we don't need that, we have this. When I am applying these foiled eyeshadows, I always use a synthetic brush. I would recommend either a synthetic brush or your fingertips. Your fingertips will work just as fine if you don't want to use a brush. I personally usually use a brush just because that's just how I roll. And the MAC 242 one is just my ride or die. I have used this in so many tutorials. It's ridiculous at this point, but it's just one of those brushes that in my collection, it's like irreplaceable. This is going to just make a very big difference when applying these foiled eyeshadows as opposed to using a natural hair brush. A natural hair brush is usually gonna be white. You'll see just like this one right here. This will apply the foiled eyeshadow, but the difference is this is not gonna make it as pigmented and you will have a little bit more fallout. As opposed to this synthetic brush, it'll be highly pigmented, highly metallic, and you won't have any fallout. So depending what you're looking for, you could do natural or synthetic, but I prefer synthetic because it gives more bang for your buck. The only thing about these shadows that could possibly end up being a negative is if you have extremely oily eyelids because of the oil in the shadow that makes them foiled eyeshadows. That could possibly be an issue for those of you who have extremely oily lids. Now, my friends who use these, they are very oily and they have not had an issue with these creasing or fading or anything like that. But Marlena did mention that that could be a possibility. So that's honestly the only thing that I would have my reservations about. But again, my friends who are oily, they have not had an issue. But if you have very oily lids and you really wanna try these, maybe just order one and see how it goes for you and then go from there. But for me personally and for my friends, we have not seen that happen. They are extremely pigmented and they keep their pigmentation and their metallic all day long. Like, they don't fade on me whatsoever. So now that you guys know that I absolutely love these eyeshadows, I swear, like, I feel like I could stand on a rooftop and just like scream about these foiled eyeshadows. Let's get into the swatching part of it so that you can see all the shades and how they look on the skin. So the first shade that we have here is one of my personal favorites, and this is called In the Spotlight. This is a beautiful, light, peachy, kind of pale champagne shade. I love this because you can wear it all over your lid and blend it out with whatever color you want in the crease, and I'm telling you, it'll always look beautiful. It is the perfect everyday shimmery lid shade. Next, we have Grandstand. I have mentioned this one quite a few times. It is a beautiful, warm, kind of taupey, sandy shade. It's very bronzy. It'll give you a nice glow, and I love wearing this with a super dark, smoky eye. Next, we have Magic Act, and this is a very pale, muted champagne gold. This would be great for those of you who have very fair skin and are maybe more cool in tone, and you're not comfortable doing a really warm bronze. This would still give you a very beautiful summer glow, but not be too over the top. Now we have Mesmerized. This is a very cool tone, kind of slate purple. This is a great color if you're used to wearing really warm shades, but you want to jump into that cool zone. This is beautiful all over the lid and just smoke it out with a warm brown. This is the shade Flamethrower, and the name of this represents the color perfectly. As you can see, this is a very intense, very warm copper. Now we have Jester. This is a beautiful olive green with metallic gold running through it, so you really get that three-dimensional effect. This is Center Stage. This is a very cool tone, very deep navy, and as you move, you will see a little bit of a cool tone purple in there as well. Now we have the shade Houdini. I personally think that this is the most unique color out of all of this collection. It's a mixture between an emerald green and a turquoise, and it comes together to make this beautiful, warm, vibrant blue. Now we have Caitlin Rose. This is a true, vibrant, cool tone purple, and the cool thing about this shade is every dollar goes to an amazing organization, and you can look up all that information on makeupgeek.com. Now we have Fortune Teller, and the best way for me to describe this color is a bright, yellow sunshine gold. Fantasy is a true pale mint green. I never knew that I wanted a mint green shadow in my life, but now that I have one, I'm glad that I do. This is High Wire, and this is such an intense platinum silver with a touch of blue in it. So it's like a gray, bluish silver. It's so unique that it's difficult to describe, but it is so cool. This is Charmed, and this is a very difficult color to label, but it is a mix between a silver and a green, and the color, whatever you want to call it, is just so cool and so unique. This is Masquerade, and this is a mixture of both hot pink and purple. It makes the most bright, beautiful fuchsia color. This is Pegasus, and this is my personal favorite out of all the bright colors that she created. This to me is just a pool party and an eyeshadow. It is perfect for summer. This is the shade Untamed. This is a mix between a bronze and a yellow gold. So it kind of turns out to like a mustardy bronze. I know that doesn't sound beautiful, but it is. Whimsical is another great everyday shade, especially for those of you who are more on the fair side. This is a very cool tone, icy pink. Daydreamer is a very true lavender, but of course, since it's foiled, it gives that intense metallic, which makes it so different from any other lavender shadow I've seen. Last but not least, we have the shade Starry Eyed. This is one of my personal favorite shades for everyday use. It is just so beautiful with whatever color you choose to put in your crease. It is a great neutral. As you can see, it's a very pale vanilla champagne color. This is pretty accurate of what it looks like when I walk out of Sephora. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy the swatches of the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows, and if you choose to purchase them, I hope you absolutely adore them as much as I do. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I never say that in my videos. Have you ever noticed that? Should I start? I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me.
BK, also hard that shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack. Be around motherfuckers like this again. Who's your girl? Grab her hand. Fuck that bitch, she don't wanna dance. She's my friends, but I'm in France.
Okay.
It's Louis, my killer.
Please
It's
stop!
my dealer.
Time to get your shit together. right now. Get it together. Many times I would not hate having a tattoo that looks like this. Hey guys, today I am going to be doing, honestly, I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but it did. This is so attractive. Yes! It's going to be all about the foiled eyeshadows. Well, you know that I need you.
That shit crack.